Hello, my name is Xavier and I'm here to interview with an artist from Pomona. Can you tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Dan Romero. Yes, I am an artist from Pomona. I went to James Madison School. I lived at the corner of 10th and Purcell pretty much all of my youth until my parents moved to Laverne when I was about the 6th grade. But I still live and work here in Pomona.
Okay. Where and why did you decide to be an artist?
I decided to be an artist, I think pretty early in life I knew I wanted to do art. I didn't know there was another world until I came to a gallery called the Daw in Pomona. And I learned there was a whole art world out here. And I met some pretty interesting people there. Magoo is one of my favorite people who hung some artwork of ours at a show there.
Okay. Who and what inspires your work?
Life. Actual life inspires my work. I make things about what I've seen, what I've done, what's going on in the world. Inspiration to me came from movies I saw when I was young. They came from people I met. They came from things that were happening in the news media. I can pinpoint something though that kind of inspired me not only in the art world but in other parts of my life. When I was about 11 years old, my dad took me to see a movie at the Fox Theater in Pomona, basically just around the corner from the Dog Gallery. And the movie that he took me to see was called The Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines, about an air race held in 1909. And in this air race, basically people had just barely learned to fly, and there was one airplane in that movie that stood out. It's an airplane called the Demoiselle, which is French for dragonfly. The man who had built it was Alberto Santos Dumont. And it flew real well. It was made out of bamboo and cloth, and it had this crazy little motor on top of his head, and he sat on it nearly about where the wheels were. And ever since I saw that, I really wanted to make one of those. At about age 40 or so, I built one and flew it. And I have a picture of it. This is that airplane. I went on to win the national champion for flying in ultralight aircraft in 1996. My wife and I had at that time started a flying school because people weren't learning how to fly very safely, and we felt that we could do much better. So one day we're driving around on a Foothill Boulevard, and we come up with this idea, we're going to start a flying school, and we pulled into the first place we saw, and we wrote down on napkins how we would go about teaching people to fly. This term is called a syllabus. We created a syllabus. We actually taught people how to fly with the ideas put down on napkins. And on lesson 7, we turned off the motor and taught people how to land without an engine. It was always exciting, but safe.
Okay.
I got more on that. When that era ended, 9/11, I made my first sculpture about that. I made a bug that's flying, and that opened up the art world for me.
Awesome. What message would you like to share about the importance of art and creativity?
Art and creativity are more than just pretty things to look at. Art and creativity is what brings us the cure to polio. It's what brings us trips to the moon. It's what brings us colleges and science technologies. It's everything. To have the want and the ability to learn is everything. And I may have already said this once before, but the STEAM program used to be called the STEM program, where they encourage young people to study science, technology, engineering, arts, and something the letter N stands for. Maybe mathematics, I'm not sure. But They have included art in that, discovering that most people that win a Nobel Peace Prize have some form of art background or some kind of a current art want. Let's say a concert pianist is a scientist looking for the cure for Alzheimer's disease and things like that. So, having discovered that, they have included art in the STEM program, changing the name of it to STEAM, and I get to talk at one of these programs next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
You're a warm-up for that.
All right. Any additional information you think might be of interest that you wish to share with these fourth graders here in Pomona?
There's so much I want to tell the fourth graders of Pomona. I was a fourth grader in Pomona. I want to say that look for subjects that interest you. Use what you learn at school about reading, about mathematics, about science, any form of technology that you can get from there. Even music, of course, yeah, music. To further your own studies when you learn what it is that you want to do, fourth graders, because there's going to be something that excites you. I was excited by airplanes, but I was also excited by boats, and I was also excited by motors. So take note on what interests you, because these things are never going to let you go, Xavier. They're always going to come back and haunt you and say, oh, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? That's what I got.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.